Charlie Sykes from the Bulwark here. Remember when Donald Trump promised Republicans that there would be so much winning?
And we're going to start winning again. We're going to win so much.
Winning and winning and winning again. We're going to win so much. We will win and we will win and we will win. We can't stand winning so much.
You may even get tired of winning and you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore.
Well, how's that working out for them? In fact, in case you didn't notice, there's been so much losing. There was the 2018 election.
This is a very significant defeat for Mr. Trump, a historic accomplishment for the Democrats. Even though some House races remain undecided, CNN can now make this projection with a very high degree of confidence based on statistical models that track races that Democrats already have won.
There was 2020.
Former Vice President Joe Biden will win Pennsylvania and Nevada, putting him over the 270 electoral votes he needs to become the 46th president of the United States.
And then there was the 2022 midterm.
There it is. That's the check mark.
Oh, wow.
Catherine Cortez Masto declared by our decision desk. Democrats now have control of the United States Senate ensured. They have their 50 seats, with Kamala Harris casting the tie-breaking vote that guarantees Democratic control of the Senate for the next 2 years.
Fast forward to 2023 and the off-year elections. The polls have been prognosticating all kinds of doom and gloom. The Democrats were going to enter into another dark night of the soul. And then they actually counted the votes. In Ohio,
abortion is health care. And abortion access is the law of the land in Ohio.
in Virginia.
In Virginia, the Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin tried to stake out middle ground on abortion, promising if Republicans won the state legislature, they'd pass what he called reasonable restrictions. But it backfired. Democrats not only holding on to the state Senate, but retaking the House of Delegates, too.
In Kentucky,
Andy Beshear, a Democrat, reelected as governor of Kentucky.
A choice not to move to the right or to the left, but to move forward for every single family. And a clear statement that anger politics should end right here and right now.
In Pennsylvania,
Democrat Dan McCaffrey defeated Republican Carolyn Carluccio for the open state Supreme Court seat. Carluccio conceded the race last night. So the 7-member court will now be made up of 5 Democrats and 2 Republicans.
And the story was consistent, wasn't it? Turns out that Republicans have not cracked the abortion code. Ohio became the 7th consecutive state where abortion rights advocates won decisive referendums. It's almost like there's a pattern here. In Virginia, Glenn Youngkin thought he had cracked the code on abortion. He came up with a compromise, a 15-week ban.
We wanted to be incredibly clear on the bill that we would progress, the only bill that we would progress. That's to protect life at 15 weeks.
But last night, he lost both houses of the state legislature, which, by the way, means that Glenn Youngkin's presidential campaign joins the rapidly filling unicorn graveyard. But also in Pennsylvania, liberal Supreme Court justice wins easily. You know who else had a lousy night? Moms for Liberty. In Iowa, they lost almost all the races they contested. But have to tell you, legalized pot, still very, very popular in places like Ohio. And then there's Kentucky, where the competent, popular, centrist Democratic Governor Andy Beshear was reelected over his MAGA opponent. Now, here's the thing about Kentucky. Donald Trump won Kentucky by 26 points, and he went all in for the Republican candidate, Daniel Cameron.
Great Commonwealth of Kentucky is a very important place to me. The people are incredible. I ran twice and I won twice by landslide numbers. So what I do and what I say is very, very special. Daniel Cameron is a person that's going to be a great governor.
And Daniel Cameron, who's a rising star in the Republican Party, decided he was going to put on the red hat, and he went full MAGA, and he lost decisively. Here's Chris Christie's thoughts about that.
Daniel Cameron made a huge mistake by embracing Donald Trump and selling his soul to him. That's what he did. And the voters of Kentucky, very red state, as you noted, gave their verdict on politicians who sell their soul to Donald Trump.
So the losing streak continues. You can tell how bad it was by just watching the Fox News hosts who were pretty unhappy last night.
In Virginia, that was really a loss for the governor. And he traveled all over that state to all the different districts. They spent a ton of money trying to get the Republicans to win in both of those establishments. But the no abortion ban, I mean, I think that's what the voters said.
They also said, flip the House, keep the Senate, but he lost both. What an epic failure by Governor Youngkin. This is a huge loss.
Now, here's a caution. The polls are still kind of scary. And what happens in an off-year election does not necessarily predict what's going to happen in 2024. It may not predict what's going to happen in the presidential election, but I think it's safe to say that we've had a pretty decisive vibe shift, and also a reminder that MAGA is not a winning formula, because despite Donald Trump's promises, there's been so much losing.
They're losers. They're just losers.
Another reminder that you are not the crazy ones. I'm Charlie Sykes. I'll be back tomorrow with more.